So David, a 6-3 defeat today at Clitheroe, architects of our own downfall.
Yeah, it was there were no real positives to take from the game. We talked about starting well, talked about being difficult to break down, we talked about that a lot. We hadn't conceded many goals before today, 2 down within 8 minutes. And both goals were completely avoidable as well. Just a lack of work rate, just not following runners, which is absolutely criminal. And then second half, I thought we gave up. I thought it was spineless. I really did. I thought it was a lack of heart. If the players showed 10% of what the fans behind the goal showed, we might have got a bit more out of that. I didn't think the team had it in them, and that's the biggest disappointment. To just give up is criminal.
Are you disappointed, obviously, with the manner of the goals? You said the first 2 were avoidable, but I think it scored a free kick, but most of them just errors.
Yeah, the free kick was a good hit. There were things technically you might do differently in terms of that you might set the wall up differently, you might have a different starting position with Tomo, but he's a good hit. And don't take away from the fact that Clitheroe were good today. You know, they did what they did very well. I thought they were a yard quicker to the ball than us. I thought they were more aggressive, they had more desire. I thought they ran past us, they got back in numbers, they defended, they were clinical when it got into their areas. I thought they played some decent football. So Clitheroe were good, but I don't think they were 6 goals good. I just thought we were incredibly poor. I think we could have avoided honestly, I think we could have avoided all 6 without anything particularly clever, just by working a little bit harder and by taking care of the ball. If you look at the goals, look how many times we turn the ball over. Second goal, we've got a ball in a really good position on the right wing. Will Shepherd misplaced past, and within 20 seconds, 2-0 down. And that was symptomatic.
It seems to be a bit of a growing injury list at the moment as well. Shane came off at half-time. Any word on
that? So it's his calf again. He had issues with it last year. It was a tightness rather than anything going, but he was struggling to turn and run and cover Joe. So it was if you can't do everything you need to in the centre half, you've got to come off. Probably the only bright spot was Jack Grundy when he came on. I thought he defended very well against Sefton.
And to draw some positives out of the game, Joe Richards gets his first goal, a good goal as well, and he created some chances down that left-hand side today as well.
He did, but he needs to become more consistent with that. And we've talked to Joe about it. He's still finding his feet at this level. He got into a couple of good positions today. The first half, one stood out where he was in a really good position at 2-0. He had 2 players to pick out in the box and rush the cross and went straight to the keeper. And it's those big moments. You look at the comparison there. They put a ball into an area and they've got to defend it, or they're scoring. That's the difference. I don't think they particularly created loads of chances beyond the 6 goals. I think they maybe had 2 or 3 others, but they were really clinical. The quality of the balls into areas was good, and they had players good attacking it.
After we went 2-0 down today, for probably at least the second half of the first half. Mm-hmm. We seemed to be in control of the game, moving the ball well, creating a couple of chances. Well, we created 4 or 5, 6 chances that were sort of half chances. Does that sort of sum up the bulk of the season so far, where we've had a lot of the ball, a lot of play, but not been clinical enough and not finished chances that we need to?
Yeah, it is that. I think if you look at that spell, I think that's where Joe Richards got in and put across the keeper. I think Banny had a couple of sort of half openings where he sort of scuffed both opportunities. I think Shep put a decent ball in when there was nobody really attacking it in the box. Probably another ball into Banny's quite a difficult chance. But it was just that quality of players arriving in the box. And sometimes just a willingness to pull the trigger. I think a couple of times we had a pass too many. And frustratingly, that Converton's first game for however many weeks, coming back from an injury, and we said, test him early, put him under a little bit of pressure, and we didn't. I think he could largely have played with his shoulder still strapped up with a cigar in today.
You mentioned before fans today were outstanding. They didn't stop singing. Probably deserved them last 2 goals just for something to go home smiling about today.
Yeah, I thought the 2 goals put a gloss on it that papered over a few cracks. I think it was 6-3 isn't reflective of how big the gap was between the 2 sides today. Nice for the fans that they had something to applaud, but some top players should be embarrassed that you've turned up and done that in front of them. I'm embarrassed. It's great for the fans. I talked about them a lot to come and to sing constantly, and times without singing the home fans is superb. And they were all there at the end to give us a round of applause that I don't think we really deserved. but it epitomises how good the Mosley fans are, and we need to repay that. I mean, we've lost 3 points today. It's not the end of the world. We need to put things into a little bit of perspective. We're still in an okay position at this stage of the season. Clitheroe away isn't one of those games that you would chalk up as a definite 3 points. But what we can't do is let this performance happen again.
And there's no better time to put it right than getting a Tuesday night game in as well. So
yeah, that's the good thing. We've now got 3 days, so people will be able to watch the video. Video will be up tonight. Players will be able to look at that tomorrow. They'll see what we saw from the side, and then they can go Tuesday and try and put things right straight away. It's important that we do. It's important that we bounce back. Important that we show a lot more graft and more quality than we had today.
Do you expect to make lots of changes for Tuesday, or no flash reactions from today?
No flash reactions. There'll be some changes. I think Callum Lee was raging when he came off, and I can understand that, because I could have taken any of the midfield 4 off. There were various reasons around defensive set pieces and experience, but I could easily have taken any of the 4 off, and I think you could say that about pretty much every player today. If they weren't starting Tuesday, I don't think they could have much of an argument about it. But that, at the same time, we've got Killer missing Tuesday. We've got Luke Barlow missing Tuesday, and there's a couple of other lads with Knox in there, so you're not quite sure how they'll be. Bailey won't be ready for Tuesday, so there are some changes we can make, but it's not like 3 or 4 players coming in from outside the 16 today to make those changes. It's perhaps maybe some of those substitutes will start, and maybe tweak the system. I think we started with a system that wasn't right. We changed after 15 minutes and we were better after that. But we kind of worked on some information that we thought they'd play out and they didn't, and the shape wasn't right as well. So we've got to look at that. We've got to look at the whole thing. It's players, it's attitude, it's work rate, it's desire, but it's also the setup and the tactics, and making sure we get that right for City, Liverpool, and the team selections spot on as well.
You just mentioned Bailey Marsden, and the other one missing today was Andy Keogh. Just a quick update on where those 2 are on injuries.
Andy's is a funny one. So Andy just seized up on Thursday in training. He looked fine, and I don't know if he'll be right for. If you ask me now, will he be right for Tuesday? I'd say probably not. But it was a bit like a back spasm, a seize up, so it could release. Bailey's a small meniscus tear. It's probably a couple of weeks. He was running Thursday, but he couldn't. He can't quite do change directions, so we're just going to build that in over the next few sessions. So Keogh, I don't know. Fingers crossed he's available Tuesday. So he was superb when he came on at 1874 Northwich. Would have started today, and I said that to him, but unfortunately he's injured, so hopefully Andy's back and gives us that option. Bailey's probably a couple of weeks away. Luke Barlow's fracture clinic this week. He's maybe 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away if we get good news on that. Killer, we just need to see how he reacts after this game. Feel like I'm missing an injured player there somewhere, but I don't think we've got any really serious injuries. We've just got a lot of relatively short-term ones coming at the same time. But we've got enough in the squad to not come anywhere and get embarrassed the way we did today.
Thanks, David.
Cheers, Nathan.